rest in peace. All the dreams never realized. All the businesses never started. The potential never reached.
It is time for you to welcome the light.
I had to let the music roll a little bit longer because I was just in the mood. I was in the mood. But welcome to Shaking Up the Algorithms. I am half of the show, and my name is Tomise, and we will be bringing on the other half momentarily. But I really wanted to just dive in a little bit and give you all a little backstory on my co-host. Basically, my co-host is an innovator. He's ingenious, comes up with all of these ideas, just creative and outside of the box. So tonight, what we wanted to do is highlight one of his newest ventures and this invention that he has created that is going to change the face of the travel industry. So this is like major, okay? So in the meantime, what I wanted to do is kind of give you a little feedback on my co-host, on my ride or die, and basically what he is and who he is just a multitude of different things. But he is the owner and operator of God's Ink Apparel. As you can see, the shirts that we have, this was created by his business. He is also a family man, a grandfather, brother, uncle, and friend to so many people, and soon to be an innovator, if not so already. So with that being said, let's bring him up, the one and only David DC.
You are hilarious, but I like the intro. Appreciate you.
No
with
problem,
all the flowers and stuff going on.
No problem.
It made me feel like I did something with my life. That's beautiful.
Well, yeah. That's wonderful. That's what we're here for, to build you up.
Right. As you know, I've been waiting for this opportunity for a while. I've been working on this project for a little bit over 2 years now, and I'm just gonna start off with how it came about. You know what I'm saying? Because basically that's what the premise of the show is about.
Right.
I work for an airline, and I work to where I handle the bags and stuff for an airline, and I remember one time I had a flight and someone left the carrier for an elderly lady, like the walker rather. Mm-hmm. And I got the walker, saw what the plane was leaving, ran outside to stop the plane. They stopped the plane and allowed me to get the walker on the plane. When I walked up, the lady whose walker it was said, "Oh my God, you have no idea. Thank you." I could read her lips, right? So I think when that happened, it triggered the idea of what can I do to make it so that people don't lose bags or lose their valuables traveling? That was how it all started. So one day, me working a lot of hours that I did at that particular job, I said, God, look, my body is taking a beating. You not got to give me something else. Like, you got to get something else. And I always say, watch what you ask for.
Definitely.
Watch what you ask for. So shortly after that happened, I ended up getting hurt to where I had to eventually get surgery. Long story short with that, the doctor said I couldn't do what I did anymore. So I was devastated. Went into a depression, but this is what God wanted me to do because he knew that I wasn't going to quit. So he had to put me in a position where I had to stop.
Right.
So with that being said, one day I had a dream that woke me up and God said, I need you to do this suitcase. It was as clear as day, like I'm talking to you right now. God said, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. Send it to NDAs. I didn't even know what an NDA was, but I'm like, NDA, what is that? So I got up, wrote the idea down, told my father that, like, this is when I first had it because the dream came to me twice. Told my father about it. He's like, oh my God, son, that's a good idea. You should do something with it. Kind of ignored it. And I'm like, I ain't worried about this. It's probably gonna never happen. So about 6 months later, I got the dream again. God said, no, you're going to get up. So I got up, I wrote it down, did a little research, sent it to an NDA, figured out what that was, an NDA was, sent it to like 8 companies. All 8 companies called me back immediately. Like, hey, that's a good idea. We want to work with you. Narrowed it down to one company on how to. Now, you got to understand, I ain't know nothing about inventions, provisional patents. I ain't know nothing about none of that. So I pretty much had to do a lot of reading and research. So the company that I was with at first, they ended up kind of messing me around because I found out that when I paid for the patent, which is where you have rights for the invention, I didn't have to pay as much as I did. So I ended up going to another company. And this other company taught me a lot more than I would have ever known in learning from this company. So with that particular company, I learned about provisional patents. I learned about licensing. I learned about virtual prototypes. All this stuff I learned. So once I learned that, I diligently started figuring stuff out.
Right.
And at one point, I was getting ready to stop because they said, "Oh, you need about $15,000 for the prototype." And I'm like, "God, I ain't got it. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit right then and there." God said, and I told you this before. God said, "If you quit, you're calling me a liar." That means I shouldn't have gave it to you, and I give it to the right person. It's up to the person to trust me and believe me and have faith. So I kept going.
Right.
Then I started figuring out ideas on how the suitcase, should be done, and I created a sleeve on it. I did so much to it, and then I started. I got the provisional patent, got all that done, and I kept going. Right now, I'm in the process of licensing to companies. So I got like 8 to 10 companies that I'm shopping it at, and I'm just waiting for the responses. And I'm pretty much going with the highest bidder or whoever has the best contract, and we're gonna take it from there. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It is a lot.
It
is a lot.
And I mean, I know you kind of touched on what prompted you to come up with this idea, but I mean, being that you're already a business owner and you're trying to manage your t-shirt line and things of that nature, how did adding this to your plate kind of like change or alter your business mindset at all? Like did it become even more stressful for you? Like what were some of the challenges that you endured?
Well, the challenges was time management because to give the attention to both was very challenging, was very difficult. But I'm gonna tell you how God worked. God put me in a position where I had to master and learn what it was to be a small business entrepreneur, because I did really well on Guys Into Pearl. I mean, my clientele is long. I mean, I done got stuff to about at least 15 to 20 different states. So I've done well with that. I've gotten repeat customers. That is doing really well. My TikTok is going well. Everything's going well with that. I had to learn that first in order to get to the suitcase situation, because the suitcase situation is a whole different animal, because you're dealing with, instead of thousands, you're dealing with millions of dollars. You're dealing with having to know the rhetoric that they use and understanding about how to license stuff and how to do the provisional patents and the virtual prototypes and manufacturing companies and how to read licensing contracts. It's a lot more to it. So by the grace of God, I think when you really operate in purpose, God will bring the people you need. For example, like I had Tara Williams from St. Louis do my business plan. Excellent job. I had you. For y'all don't know, the person that is interviewing me did the commercial. So yeah, she bad. And everybody been talking about the commercial. Matter of fact, that commercial, when I put it on my TikTok in 3 days, got over 5,000 views. So that commercial is extremely good. So you did the commercial. Then I got Tayon Ward, my people, family. She's my senior project manager, and she's over getting the website taken care of and learning about international sales and projections and doing spreadsheets, all of that stuff. So I thank God for bringing the people in place I needed to keep going, because this suitcase thing is huge. It is ginormous, and it's a lot, and you can't do it by yourself. You need a team, for real.
That's definitely true. That's definitely true. And thank you for the shout out. Thank you.
Right.
And I will make sure that I play the commercial for everyone to see before the end of the show.
Sure.
But what I wanted to also kind of touch bases on is that this is such a grand idea, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like it had to be God in order for you to even come up with this concept, because it's not something that anybody would kind of randomly think of. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what are some of the advantages to having your vision and concept come to life? And how do you think that it would change or alter the infrastructure of how the travel and luggage process works now?
Okay, well, the amazing uniqueness of the suitcase that God gave me to design was, I learned that when bags come in, and people always put the tag around the handle. By the time it comes to us, because it hits so many of the bags, sometimes it can get ripped off. Sometimes it compromises the tag. People don't know when that tag is bent a certain way, or it's wet, or whatever the circumstances may be, it can't get scanned to get on the flight. So what I did was I created, instead of the tag around the handle, it's in a sleeve. That way, if it's in a sleeve, the tag is not compromised and it don't get ripped off.
Right.
That means when it comes down to us, when it comes down to them, rather, because I ain't with them no more. But when it comes down to them and they get it, it's easy to scan and it's easy to get on. That means it guarantees to get on that flight. Mm-hmm. Now here's the thing. If that tag is not on that suitcase, by the time it hits that plane, they either have to, by process of elimination, find out who it belongs to, because if the bag's not going to get on a flight if it don't have that tag around it. Mm-hmm. So either the plane takes a delay, or it has to be rerouted to another flight going the same direction. If that happens, then it has more opportunities of getting lost.
Right.
So with my suitcase, you ain't got to worry about that, because it's going to be in the sleeve protected, and it's going to be easily scanned with a clear sleeve. So that is going to potentially make early arrivals, earlier departures. Then you ain't got to worry about bags being lost. And but this is contingent on like if everybody comes on board, like if everybody
Right.
gets this particular suitcase. I want to keep that in mind.
Right.
If that were to happen, that would make it so that it would be no lost bags, period. And it would make it so the flights would be on time. They probably have a lot more earlier departures. The airline saves money. They don't lose. They save money with early departures, and they save money with no lost bags, suitcases.
Wow.
So that would change the whole infrastructure of travel. It would make people more comfortable with checking their bags in because most people they have carry-ons. They don't have bags that they check in. A lot of, and another thing is with companies, they make money when some companies charge you to check bags in, no matter how many you have. You know, some companies give you 2 bags free or whatever, but it really depends on the airline. So that means you giving the airlines more money by doing that. So it's like it's a win-win situation, and it makes people more prone to feel like, hey, I ain't got to worry about my bag getting on the flight because I know what that suitcase does. Another thing is about the suitcase that God gave me was I made the wheels and the handle color coordinated to match. So when it comes down to baggage claim, it's easily detectable. Oh, that's my bag right there. Most bags are either black, brown, white, one solid color, and you have a lot of them that are the same. With this, it makes it so it's easy detectable, so you can just find it on your baggage claim, and it's easy to get. So it makes everything easier.
That does make it a lot easier. That does
I know,
make
right?
it a lot easier. So let me ask this: from the time in which you were divinely inspired with this invention, how long has it taken? Like, the process. I know you were discussing earlier in your spill the different steps that you had to take in order to make sure that the idea came to life. But what is like the process in that? What is like the length of time that you've actually put into it from the actual conception until now?
Honestly, Miss Jones, it's been a really seriously like a 2-year process. And the reason why it took so long is because I went from one company to another company with as far as them showing me how to deal with my suitcase and pricing and stuff. And then I'm looking at manufacturing companies. Then I'm looking at research on licensing agreements and stuff and will it pass the inspection as far as being accepted by the FAA and all of that stuff, and it's so many rules involved, and you got to learn all of that. And with me, I don't want to just do something and just quickly get the money. I want to understand the rhetoric. When I be in them big rooms, I want them to know that I know what I'm talking about, and I know how to go about it, and I know what it can do. And that's the point where I'm at right now. I found out that when I was doing my research that in 2021, suitcases made $18.6 billion. So when I found that out, I'm like, okay, my suitcase is one of a kind and it gives a whole new infrastructure. It's not about the aesthetics of it. It's not about just how it looks. It's about keeping your stuff safe to get on that flight. And what people don't do, they don't focus on that. They don't, they have a few things here and there, but as far as the infrastructure of how it's done, because I don't work behind the scenes, I know how it's done. So that gives me an advantage. But the 2-year process, even though it took long to do it, one, I had to accept that God trusted me with it. Yeah. 2, I had to feel like I deserved to be in the position to receive it. I had to go through that mental stuff first. Then once I kind of got the confidence with that, I was reading till my eyes popped out, reading every day, reading for hours and hours and trying to understand and asking questions and Googling stuff and seeing how suitcases made overseas compared to the U.S. and how much each company get from suitcases like um, uh, Samsonite and Travel Pro and all these different places. So it's a lot that you really have to know. I didn't want to do it quick. Like Rick Ross said, I want to do it correctly. I didn't want to do it. And when you do it quick, and it's about the bag, you're gonna miss something.
Yeah.
And that 2 years did me good in being patient and understanding what I was dealing with and just doing it right. And God did everything in its timing. He brought you. He brought, Tayan, Tara. He brought the right people in place for me to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful. I'm appreciative. And I mean, I ain't through yet because there's still some people I'm going to have to meet along the way that God going to have to give me the ability to trust in order to go to that next level.
Right.
I know finances, but when you come to millions and billions of dollars, that's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
And you don't want to trust people with your money and all of this stuff, Then on top of that, you got to deal with people. And I don't really want to get into that deeply because I don't want the enemy to control the show. You got to deal with people that, okay, now they want to know who you are. Now they want to be cool with you and all of that stuff. And I thank God I haven't had a lot of that happen so far, but because I gotta have tunnel vision. This project requires a lot of my attention, and sometimes it takes away from God's power. But I've been able to manage it pretty well.
Okay. Well, again, we're not gonna touch on that subject, but
right.
That does make a really valid point because when you are in the process of being on the come up, that now puts you in a whole different limelight of exposure.
It is.
And it's going to allow all types of people to gravitate to you, either out of curiosity or just because they want to be nosy. And
correct.
You know what I'm saying? But that does come with the territory.
Right.
I guess too, what I wanted the viewers to kind of understand or to see, give us a picture of who David Crouch really is outside of the invention, because a lot of times people will see, oh yeah, well, he's got the t-shirt business, he's doing this, he's doing that, but the man sometimes is totally different than the vision. You know what I mean? Because the vision is given, from a totally different source. And a lot of times, I feel like this, even with myself included, when it's something that I know God wants me to do, that's a certain energy and power source that I have to tap into in order to do that. But Shawan told me I may not have that. You know what I'm saying? But I have to learn how to plug in to get it. So give me a little description or a little gist of who David really is.
That is a very good, deep question, Miss Jones.
You're rubbing off on me.
Right. David Crouch is a lover of God first, off and on camera. I mean, I pray a lot, I fast a lot, because that is the only thing that keeps my sanity. Because this is a juggernaut of an idea. This ain't no small stuff. So, a lot of people that don't have that relationship with Christ get something and they get money like that, they lose their mind with it because they don't know how to manage it. They want to buy everything. They want to buy friends. They want to buy love. And my circle is small. I always say my God is big, but my circle is small. The people that who I love, they know who they are. They know who they are. And as far as people involved in my circle, it's very small. David Crouch is a person that's very selective. David Crouch is a person that is very determined and resilient. David Crouch is a person that's not naive, that knows who he is, that has healed from a lot of stuff. David Crouch is a person that is not only a good CEO, but a good brother, a good father, a good leader, a good friend. Um, David Crouch is a man that refuses to lose. David Crouch is a man that is resilient. Um, David Crouch is a man that is steadfast. Um, David Crouch is a man that sees the lighter part of things rather the positive part of things rather than the negative. Um, David Crouch is a person that implements God in his day before he gets his day started. And those are the things that make David Crouch who he is. David, in order for all these things like the guys in the pearl and the secured suitcase to happen, David had to be like that, and God knew it because he knew that I would have so many obstacles. He knew that I would have so many things that I would have to contend with. He knew that I would make mistakes. He knew that I couldn't make too many big mistakes because that would have made me quit. He knew that I struggled with quitting. So God had to put me in a position to where me operating on purpose and trusting God wouldn't make me have the ability to want to quit anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's who David Crouch is. And it took me a long time to love that guy. But I love that guy. And that guy is what allowed me to be the person I am today, not only for myself, but for people, for my daughter, for friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, just to mention you all, David Crouch is all of those things, but he is also very intricate and very detailed. So if you ever talk to him, you better make sure you got all your ducks in a row and you know exactly what you're gonna say.
All of it.
You say it because he needs to know the specifics.
All of it.
If you don't have those specifics, you're gonna get shot down.
Man, look,
okay, that is just the truth.
The way my Capricorn set up, don't come to me with no half-ass stuff. I don't want to hear it. Turn back around and start over. Start from the drawing board. I don't want to hear it because my thing is, in order for me, the way I think, Shawan, and you know this, in order for me to help you, I got to know it all. You can't give me bits and pieces because I need to know what I'm dealing with. Like when God gave me this idea, I had to do research to know what He gave me. Okay, you gave me this. I got to understand, how do I take care of this baby? How do I take care of this child? How do I feed it? How do I nurture it? What do I do? So I have to know these things. So, and then when I'm a praying man, I pray a lot. And I gotta understand what am I praying about. Now, if you're a person that say, hey, I don't need you to know, I just need you to just pray for me, I do that. That's fine. Because I got prayer for that too. But if you want me to help you and to pinpoint it, I would need to know every aspect of what you're talking about. But you are right, Jones. You're right. I'm very meticulous about that. Even when I do stuff, my stuff. You know what I'm saying? This, what you got on in this, are designs that I created on my own.
Correct.
I didn't say, okay, well, let me see if I sat down because I know how to deal with fonts and all this stuff, and I figured it out. So, but I've been doing shirts for over 4 years.
Right.
So I've got better and better each year. And then even now, I'm to the point where I still can learn something. I still want to learn more. And see, that's another thing that makes me how I am. I always have a thirst for learning. I never want to not know stuff. Give it to me. I have an advantage. One thing my father said I'll never forget, he said, boy, the more you know, the more dangerous you are. Mm-hmm. The more of a threat you are. Mm-hmm. You know, he get on my nerve, but that's one thing I kept. I'm just saying.
Well, one thing I did not mention in your introduction as well, and it definitely plays a role in how you maneuver, how you communicate, how you deliver. What I didn't mention, y'all, is David is also a 6-time, if I'm not mistaken, 6-time word artist. He's a poet, you know, and there's a passion that comes with his poetry and the words and the delivery and the cadence and he has when displaying that form of art. What brought that on? Because I know for some people, you know, it's a variation of things.
I'm gonna tell the audience the funny story I told you. Because it starts, I was a little kid and I was always an avid reader. My grandmother, who raised me and my brother, used to talk to us like we were adults. I mean, she would say these words, and I'm like, what in the what? What is she? I don't know what that means. So she would say, I'd be like, Mama, what does that mean? Nigga, look it up. Look it up. I'm like, could you say the word again? And she would say the word again. I would look it up. Now, back then, we didn't have no phones to Google it.
That's
Nigga,
true.
you had to go to the dictionary
And sound it
and
out.
find it and sound it out and know what the hell it was. So the more I did that, the more my vocabulary increased. And what she didn't realize was by increasing my vocabulary, it made me have the ability to talk to anybody. I could talk to whatever and I could understand them. And I know how to use words and what context to use them in. So as a younger kid, I used to always write stuff, and I was a music fanatic just like you, Jones. I would write lyrics and, oh, I love that and how they said that, and I'd be writing stuff down. And I said, okay. I just love writing how my day went, little journal. So one day I dated somebody who was a poet, and she took me to a poetry spot. When I went to that poetry spot, it was like a marriage. It was like a marriage made in heaven. Like I saw people saying stuff that blew my mind, and I was so interested in it. But I was scary. I wasn't gonna get up on stage. I was fearful of being able to do that. But remember, when God has a purpose for you, He will put you in a position where He gonna try it and put you in a position where you got to utilize it. Yeah. I moved to Miami. And I never forget this. And we went to an open mic when I first moved to Miami. And my friends dared me to do a poem on stage. Now, I did poems in private, but I never did them on stage. Mm-hmm. So I did the poem on stage with my eyes closed. And the more and more I talked, the more quieter it got. Mm. And then people was clapping. So I'm like, man, are they clapping for me? So one of the dudes from the audience came up to me and said, hey, I love what you did. You got any more poems? You need to come back here next week. I'm like, really? He said, hey, I'm in another poetry spot. You should come out there. Gave me his card and everything. Wow. Right then and there, I said, God, if this is what you want me to do, show me how I can get better. I want to be one of the best because I love the art form. Long story short, went to a poetry workshop, learned stage presence, metaphors, all the stuff. I used to be a rhyming poet at the beginning, rhyming like I was rapping. And a poet told me, look, you ain't got to rhyme, be at the mercy of a rhyme in order to make it a poem. A poem is cadence based. It's not having to do with rhyming. So once I mastered that, it was over. So then I was in Miami. This girl spotted me, took a video of it, videoed me, put it on her page, and said, hey, I'm trying to find this dude. So somebody knew who I was. They made a connection. She featured me at her spot and sold it out. I was blown. And then I knew that, okay, this is bigger than what I thought. So I started writing more and writing. So one of my friends said, hey, you should get to a poetry slam. I'm like, poetry slam? I didn't know what that was. Got to a poetry slam with other poets. I'll never forget this. It was 9 of us. And a poetry slam is when you have poets, and each round they knock off people until they got the final 3 or the final 2. So it was the first poetry slam I ever been in, and I placed second place. And I'm my first ever been in. And the only reason I lost is because I sung in a poem and it went past the 3 minutes. Because every second you go over a minute, they deduct a tenth of a point.
Wow.
The dude, I went outside, I was hurt. I was like, man, God, I want to win. The dude came out and said, dude, if I didn't need this money to go back to school, I would give it to you because you deserve it, because you beat me for real. Wow. Right then and there, my confidence grew to a whole nother level. Then I met poets from Chicago. I started getting into poetry blog talks and all type of stuff. And I was heard other poets, and I was like, man, I can do better than that. So I challenged myself. And then pretty much the rest is history. I've been in 10 poetry slams my whole life, and I won 6 out of the 10. Wow. So, right, I know, right? Yeah, my testimony is crazy with that, because I done met at least 4 or 5 Def Poetry Jam poets in my life that I actually took pictures with and talked to, like me and you talking, and gave me some advice that was mind-boggling. I never get one quick story about this, and I'm gonna be done with this part. But one quick story: I was in Chicago, and I was doing a poem, and this dude said, "Dude, you the best one I done heard all night." His name was Abyss, Abyss. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Took a picture with him. And they was like, okay, we're going to introduce the feature. He was on Def Poetry Jam, Abyss. The same. That took my confidence up 10 notches again. So it's like, I have been so blessed in that regard. And it's just like, life, God positions you to be in certain places to bless you. And I had to learn that. Sometimes I had to learn it the hard way, but I learned it. And I thank God for where I'm at right now. Eventually, I know what God promised. I know that this suitcase is going to get wind. Somebody's going to get wind of it, and it's going to succeed. I know this. And once I stop knowing it and accepting that that's the truth, then I make failure an option. And I'm not going to make failure an option. Yeah.
That's a good point. Failure, not to make failure an option.
That's
a really good point.
Yeah.
But now, okay, so we've talked a little bit about the invention and, the process that it's taken you to get that.
Right.
We even discussed your poetry journey and, how that's come about. But let's tap into also God's Inked Apparel, because if, most people that come on here, they see you as the Shaking Up the Algorithms co-host. Mm-hmm. They don't realize that you already have a current steady business. So kind of touch bases on that. But before you do that, I just wanted to give y'all a little backstory too. It's funny because when we met each other,
mm-hmm.
and when I mentioned that I had a travel business, he was just like, what? Oh my God, that's nothing but God. I work for the airlines.
Right.
And I make t-shirts. Like, you need t-shirts for your clients, group trips and things like that.
What?
When I was like, what? How in the hell did this connection come out?
Right.
But it just flourished into so much more just from that one, area of interest.
Positioning.
I know, really. And so, go ahead and kind of elaborate on how God's Inked Apparel even came about. Like, was that due to the spoken word? Like, did it come after or did it come before?
God's Inked Apparel came after the spoken word. So when I first started and I used to get featured, I used to always buy shirts that nobody else had. I wanted something on it, or I wanted to make a shirt to wear when I performed. And I had so many ideas I went on the shirts, but I didn't know nothing about doing the shirt. So I'm working for the airlines, and this is before I even came up with the secure suitcase, way before I came up with the secure suitcase. So I started, I had this guy back in St. Louis make me some shirts. I had about 10 shirts I wanted to make. Over $300 worth of shirts. I mean, out of the 10, or it was something like that. It was like I made 10 shirts or something like that. It was 20 shirts. It was 20 shirts. So it came up to about $300, whatever, something like that. So when I saw the shirt and I pulled them out, I'm like, what? And then I looked at another one. I'm like, so I was mad, but I said, okay, guy. I told the guy, I don't even want the rest. I'm good. Thank you. I wasn't mad. I ain't snap. I ain't say I want my money back, nothing. I just took it for what it was. I said, okay, now I'm going to learn it. I don't know who I'm going to learn it from, but God go give it to me. About 2 or 3 months after that, I'm talking about T-shirts to somebody at my job. Some dude chimed in and said, hey, you want to learn how to do T-shirts? I said, yeah. Well, it's a girl that worked over on cargo on the other department of Southwest. I mean, of the other part of the airline that do shirts. The airline that do shirts. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, she do shirts. And so I said, connect me. Connected me. She showed me how to do shirts, showed me about vinyl, and she showed me the basics. Like, I just needed to know how to cut it out, how to do that part. The rest, I learned on my own. Designs like the one you got on, this one, I started messing with fonts. I started doing, taking chances, playing with fonts, playing with different vinyl types. All of that was on my own. I did my own research. The girl who taught me, when she saw what I was doing, she was like, dude, you my best student ever. Damn, what? She was blown, right? So then I started doing prints and doing stuff, and I got better and better and better and better at it and better and better at it. And then I started wearing my stuff. So when I started wearing it, people was like, dude, where'd you get that from? I made it. You made that? So I got a lot of that. I said, okay, I need to make this into a business. Too many people stopping me and asking me. So I came up with the name. And I was gonna change it because I didn't want people to be like, oh, he's a godly guy and he does this shirts and he's just doing this and he's not playing well. I want to do my own thing, but God said, so you gonna be ashamed of me in public? And I gave you this and you gonna play with me? So I kept God's apparel because God was the influence on how I came up with these ideas. So I kept the name. Got an LLC'd out and all that stuff, got the rights to the name. And then I started with the website, and then I think the second year, I don't know, a lot of people don't know this part. The second year I made $30,000 doing shirts. I was on a grind. And when I realized that I made that much money, I was like, what the hell? So I wanted to do it on a wider scale. So I started doing family reunions. I started doing other stuff. I started doing my own hoodies, and I started learning how to put it on TikTok, and the rest is history. I think now my TikTok, I got like 65,000 likes and views on it. It's a crazy number now, but that's pretty much how it came about. Somebody did my t-shirt order wrong, and I wanted to learn how to do it myself.
Wow.
So like I said, like we're shaking up the algorithm. That honestly, I love the design now even more now, looking at it more now. But that didn't even take me long to do. I just know how to mess with fonts, and I know how to put them together, and I know how to put it on a shirt, and how to make sure that it's symmetrical on a shirt. So I love doing it. It is the most therapeutic thing ever, to be able to do a shirt and to do something that nobody else on the planet has done. You know what I'm saying? This is my design. That is my design. So God gave it to me. So, and that's how I pretty much started. You know what I'm saying? So, and from that, everything else came out of that. The design for the secured suitcase and designing stuff. I love doing stuff to where I can mess with the design and do something that nobody else is doing. Mm-hmm. And I pride myself on being an innovator, like you said. That's where the innovation comes from. Because innovators do something that goes against the grain. create a new narrative, create a new protocol of how things are done. That's how the security suitcase. That's how I know the security suitcase is going to do so well.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, just being a part of the team.
Right.
This has really become such a grand thing. And I'll be honest, y'all, at first I was just like, okay, he asked me to do the job. I was just like, all right, I'm going to get to your video. I'm going to get to it, And because one thing people have to realize, when you are given a vision, a lot of times everybody around you may not have the same enthusiasm.
Correct.
Because that wasn't something that God gave them.
Correct.
Yeah, they're going to be there to help, but
right.
The level of enthusiasm may be totally different. And, David would come at me and be like, come on, Jones. Like, I need this done, Jones. I need this done, Jones. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, I got this going on. I got that. But it's like, I know me and I know my work too. So when I produce something, it's going to be good. You know? So I'm glad that the commercial that I created for this concept, has gotten such a buzz. Not only does that put me in a different, level of exposure as well, but it really helps to promote the brand in which you are now invoking with this luggage.
It is.
So that's a big thing. So with that being said, we're going to take a little quick break because I want everyone to see this this luggage idea in life form in this trailer video that I made. And then we're going to talk about that more and your team itself. So
presenting a revolutionary and innovative solution to all of your travel woes. Are you tired of the stress and strain that comes with travel? Frustrated by the constant fear of losing your luggage? Well, say goodbye to those worries and embrace a new era of seamless travel. Introducing the Secured Suitcase. So what makes this luggage different from all the others? With the ingenious clear-covered sleeve, no more flimsy tags, eradicating the risk of lost luggage. Its sleek aerodynamic design, colored handles, and matching wheels makes for a stylish, advanced look. Not to mention the organized compartments for jewelry, medicine, night clothes, tops and bottoms, and shoes. No matter where your next travel adventure leads you, or where your destination ends, know that with the Secured Suitcase, your luggage will arrive when you do. The Secured Suitcase, where peace of mind travels with you. Use the contact information above for more details.
Okay. Right. All right. Kudos to myself. Kudos to myself.
Yes.
But that really came out good. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, the weeks that it took me to get it done, I really had no idea.
Well, I apologize that I had to cuss you out.
A few times.
All right.
But I mean, I really didn't have a concept at all. Wow. And I'm just thankful that, God came in the clutch, and just kind of gave it to me all at one time. And it's like, once I get the idea, that's it. I'm going with it, And I noticed too, that is how your creativity works. It's almost like you have to be inspired.
Facts.
It could be something that you read. It could be a conversation. Yes. Something will click and inspire you, and it's almost like you just take off running.
Facts.
So I've noticed that even in our, dialogue, whether it's with your poetry, whether it's with, creative shirt designs, things of that nature, it's almost like you get an innate vision or an innate word,
Right.
and it just bam, it just opens up to something totally different, and it's like it just forms a whole new creative lane.
Okay, I got a quick question for you, real quick, just real quick.
For me, this is your show.
I know. I just got a real quick question. When you did the commercial, whatever,
Mhm.
and because I mean, I think you knew how big it could be. You knew the potential. But when you did the commercial and you were done with it, before you sent me that, and I was blown by it, what were your thoughts at the end of it? Was it like, oh my God, he ain't gonna get on my nerve and cuss me out no more?
I did. That was my first thought. I did.
Okay. But what did you see in the ending of it and the completion of it? What was your feel of it?
When I finished it, I actually looked at it like 2 or 3 times myself. That's how I do. When I finish a video, with someone or even for myself, I have to look at it multiple times, to kind of see how I feel about it. Because if it's not right, I'm not sending it, or I'm not sending it. Right. But it was just something about it. It was just like, man, like I like this. Like this is good. I like this. And I'll say this, I'll admit, there are many times in which I've created different things and I almost kind of second guess my own gift a little bit. But you'll come on and you'll see and you'll be like, man, Jones, this is good. This is good, Jones. Like this is excellent. This is excellent. I'm just like, what? But to see the I guess the feedback that was given from this video, like I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked.
When I put that thing on Facebook and TikTok, I mean DMs for days. People was like, God, this is your, because it didn't look generic looking. It looked like it was supposed to look. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. What struck a nerve with this. Mm-hmm. And like you said, you brought my idea that God gave me to life. Like it had a pulse. And that's what I wanted people to see, in the pulse.
So let's tap into your team,
Yes.
Now, of course, you all know now I'm a part of the team. I guess you can say I'm the visual marketer.
Right.
Team, I make sure that all of the visuals and, all of that stuff is taken account for, so people can actually see, the concept of this suitcase design. But what about some of the other people? I know you mentioned, I can't think of her name at the moment, but I don't want to botch it.
Well, don't worry, I'm gonna give them out to you.
But he is the mastermind behind all the paperwork, being the business plan organizer and help you with that.
Yeah.
And then also your project manager. Like, how do these two women, or how have they assisted in this process to helping to get this vision underway as well?
Well, I'm going to tell you about people that and people that I'm kind of like really sitting and watching that I think God is going to allow me to pull them into the circle. And the beauty of it all is most of y'all are women. And the reason why I want women to be the forefront of my dream team is because women have a wisdom and an insight that is impeccable to me. Mm-hmm. So I love the fact that most of the people that's in my circle to do this project are women. One is Tara Williams. Tara is an amazing, brilliant Black woman, and a woman of God. Amazing. She has her own business. She's an entrepreneur herself. She does so many things. But Tara let me tell you how funny God is. I was gonna have one of my exes who knows about business plans do it for me because she cold-blooded with that.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, I was reluctant because I'm like, look, I don't want attachment, because I don't move. I'm no. But I went to go meet up with her anyway, and I sat down. We literally had a meeting. Wasn't know about, oh, how you doing with your personal life? Because I'm done. Once I'm done, that's it, right? So I was talking to her, and the meeting went longer than what it should have. So Tara came in when I was supposed to be gone. So we crossed each other's paths. So Tara was in on the meeting that I was in with my ex. And Tara was like, man, I love you. I love how you talking. You got some wisdom, yada, yada. And I said, man, I'm feeling the same way about you. So we exchanged cards. 2 weeks later, me and Tara sat down and talked about what I was doing. She said, well, you got anybody to do a business plan? I'm like, business plan? I don't know. So I started doing the research and we started talking about it. And Tara challenged me like nobody's business. Wow. She said, you need to do a $10 million budget or $100 million budget.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? Nobody ever challenged me like that. So Tara ended up doing my budget, long story short, and she did it amazingly. She did my business plan, did the projections, did what it does, the numbers it's gonna bring, how much is the suitcase is gonna be, did it brilliantly. That was Tara. Then it was you. You was next. Met you in a business group. Me and you clicked right off the bat. Mm-hmm. You do the travel agency business. I work for airline. It was like match made in heaven.
Right.
Then you started talking about different projects. Then I found out that you did the commercials for your thing. I was like, what? So I started talking about that. Long story short, I got you to do the commercial. I'm glad I did. Praise God. Then the next one was my family, right up under my nose. Mm-hmm. This story is unique. This is how you know God is in the midst of what you're doing. Tayon Ward. I love this woman to life. She is my ride or die, day one, my people. I love this woman to life, right? Mm-hmm. Tayon, I was telling Tayon about the idea. She was like, I don't want to know what the idea is yet. I'm like, why? Why? I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna worry about it. So we was, but we always was cool. So I started doing the research about the suitcase and doing it more and more and more and more and more. And then she said, okay, fam, tell me about the idea. She told me about the idea. She was blown. Mm-hmm. Now, at this time, Tara was going to school for project management. So when I started doing my research on how do I, do this to get it out, and he said, you're going to need a team. And what you're going to need is a project manager. Almost passed out when I saw that. So she's going to school for project management, and I needed a project manager.
Right.
So boom, God connected that. So Tayon taught me so much already. Just listen to her. Her mind is brilliant. It's just insane. Every one of y'all is brilliant in what y'all do. Then I have a few people that I'm bringing in, and she don't know it yet. Alicia Dark. I'm gonna bring her in. Alicia has a business degree that I didn't know about. Amazing, brilliant mind. She the one that told me about getting the brochures for if I were to travel, and so people can see it and stuff like that. And her mind, brilliant. She don't know it yet, but I'm bringing you in, honey. Bring me in. My brother, ride or die, my twin. Derek is very good. He's a very good people person. He knows a lot of lawyers. He knows a lot of that aspect of it. So it's like all of these different components is gonna make this team freaking amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I look forward to when I can bring all of y'all together in one room. That is going to be ridiculous. So God knew I needed these people. And eventually I know I'm gonna need more people because, dealing with something like this is gonna require a team to handle every aspect. Eventually I'm gonna have to get lawyered up, even though I know 4 or 5 lawyers off rip. But I'm gonna have to get somebody that I can settle on that ain't gonna screw me over. So I got to do research on them. You know what I'm saying? So because them lawyers know stuff that we don't. They know the ins and outs and stuff, and then eventually I'm gonna have to give me an accountant that can show me how to do stuff. I don't need you. In my business. I just need you. I know how to count. I got my own money. I don't need all that stuff going on. I just need you to show me some things. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
But even with all this going on, I've learned a lot on my own. I've learned how to, when all this happens, to take stuff out of my name, put it in my business name. And I know I learned how to do stuff like that. So I know I have prepared for when God makes that move to the next step. Because I'm one email away from the next step. Because I did my due diligence on getting it to big companies. I think me and Tayana did about 12 companies to where we did soft introductions to letting them know who we are and what we bring and what our product is and how important it is. Mm-hmm. And I've learned how to create a demand on it so that people will latch on to it, and it changes the whole infrastructure of travel. That's what I want to do. I want to change everything to where my suitcase is the new suitcase that everybody must have to get on a plane.
Right.
Now, when that happens, you see how my language is. When that happens, I'm going to have to go into hiding. because that's going to put me in a billionaire type of conversation.
That is true.
Yeah,
you're going to bring up that old, adage they used to have, where's Waldo? It's going to be, where's David? Where's David? Like, where is he now? He's over here. No, he's over there. I saw him in LA. No. I saw him in Miami.
Right.
David. So,
look,
yeah.
Shawan, we done had many of these conversations. I am going to be I'm turning my phone off. I'm gonna have a voicemail and that's it, nigga. I'm gonna answer. I ain't gonna even want to answer the phone. I need a voice. I'm gonna have an assistant and a voicemail. I ain't got time because I ain't gonna be out popping tags and be out in public and I'm not. I don't need all that. I just want to change the world and make it better. And then I have other streams of income. I have so many ideas. So I know God is just preparing me, and I'm thankful that He chose me to do it, and He trusts me to do it. In order to do this, you have to be trustworthy. You got to have some integrity. You got to, hey, if you go do it, be about that. You know what I'm saying? Don't say something you ain't gonna do. So that's the man that I've become, and I'm thankful for being in a position that I am.
Well, I wanted to take a quick moment as well to comment and thank these individuals for their continued support of our show. They've been commenting throughout the show. Tayon Ward, who is actually one of your team members, the project manager, mm-hmm. as well as Sarah Osby and Carla Smith. She also mentioned that she is in love with the suitcase, and as much as she travels, this would be the perfect addition for her to use. So I'm thankful to you all that have been watching.
And then it's gonna be Black owned. Oh my Father God, SUTA. Oregano, SUTA.
Oh my God.
So that's gonna put me in a position of power to do a lot, with that. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to being around the same 6-7 people that I talk to. That's it. I don't need all that. Y'all stay over there. I ain't got time. No, I don't want to know you. No, I don't want to know who you are. No, I don't want no emails. No, I don't want your mama food. No, I don't want to meet your ragged ass kids. No, I don't want to do none of that. No, I absolutely not. Because I don't want your energy. That I have to be. I can't deal with all this stuff. Like and when you get caught up around the wrong people, you tend to change and do the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? Right. I thank God that I don't flip out over having a lot of money. I've been there, done that. So money ain't go make me lose my mind, and I'm be popping tags and in the strip clubs. It ain't gonna ever be that serious. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about that life. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I just wanted to say again, this has been a pleasure interviewing you. You know, it's always different when we kind of switch roles and
Right? I know, right?
you know. But this was so fun. And
Yeah.
I am definitely looking forward to this suitcase coming out because you know this is just gonna help revolutionize my little travel business as well. You
What?
know,
Come on. You already know.
already incorporating that.
And then you're gonna be hired to do the grown folk commercials or be over it. I need you to orchestrate it because because you already got a know-how automatically. So even if somebody else do it, I need you in that meeting. Hey, I need you. Yeah, I need you in that meeting. that meeting. Wherever they go, you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where can people find you to get information even about God's Inked Apparel or just David Crouch the man? Where can they find you on social media?
Okay, David Crouch on Facebook. Yeah. God's Inked Apparel on Instagram. God's Inked Apparel on TikTok. I'm on TikTok more than anything. So the best place to find me is God's Inked Apparel, all one word on TikTok. You find me on there a lot because I'm always answering messages on TikTok. Whenever I go to TikTok, I ain't gonna lie, every about an hour, I got about 50 messages or 50 something going on. So if I don't handle that every hour, it can get ugly. So I make sure I stay ahead of the curve and answer as many questions as possible. But yeah, Facebook, David Crouch on Facebook, God's Inked Apparel on Instagram, and God's Inked Apparel on TikTok are the best ways you can find me. Christmas is coming up. I do Christmas shirts. I do whatever shirts y'all want to do. I can do it any color, any design. Just hit me up and make it happen, and we can get this done. But I need you to be very specific on what you want, so I don't have to ask 50 million questions. Yeah.
Please, y'all, because I will hear the end of it. You know, I won't.
And then at some point, I clock out of the conversation.
And he does. I'm telling y'all now, he does.
It shouldn't be this hard. Hey, I want this shirt in this color, this size. Here's my address. What's your Cash App? Done. Simple. See how that works? Simple. So, but that's how they can find me. And on Shaking Up the Algorithms. And we're on every Tuesday and Friday, right?
Tuesday, Friday, and
Sunday.
Yeah.
We done did about 50,000 shows. We did about 30, close to 30, 20 something.
We've done a little more than that, but we're gonna be doing a special episode. I don't know if we're gonna. We're still in the works on it, but we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary.
Come on now.
So I definitely want to do a show that night where we just kind of party and, you know, go over the whole year of shaking up the algorithm. So we definitely want to support us in the show and make sure that you come out to that episode because it's going to be lit.
And you know what? And I said this before, but I'm going to say it publicly so people can hear this.
Uh-oh.
Billionaire status or not, billionaire status, period. I'm still going to be doing shaking up the algorithms. I ain't going to be too grown for that. I don't care if I have 20 million meetings a day. I'm still going to do that. And I'm still going to do shirts because that's my therapy. So, I mean, I'm probably going to do it as much as I do it now because I'm probably going to teach people what I know and have them take it over, like my grandkids or whatever, like that. But I'm gonna still do shirts. I'm gonna still do shaking up the algorithms, no matter what, because those are the two things.
Will you still be doing poetry as well, sir?
Ooh. Now I will do this, because I still want to. I always want to go to the top 10 poetry spots in the country, and one of them is actually here in Houston. Right about now, poetry. I'm definitely gonna hit that up, and Poetry Lounge. So I think that's a hard question, because my thing is, let's make a hypothetical. I'm on the cover of Forbes magazine. I'm not gonna be able to do that. I can't walk up in no line and be like, hey, what number am I? I'm what? Okay. We can't stay here. I'm gonna need my driver to come back around. I'm going home. Ain't that time? If I can't go first and I hear about 10 poets after me, I can't do it. I got stuff to do. So that's probably not gonna happen.
Well, I wouldn't say that, Crouch, because I feel like this. You're already, like I said, very detailed in what you do. Right. And I feel like if you were to, consider doing a opening or some type of spoken word appearance, you're gonna come with a whole entourage so that nobody's gonna be able to get to you.
That's a good point. I would have to do it like that, because and the thing about it is, Shawan, I don't like starting a frenzy like that. I don't. I'm a very private, low key.
Low key.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need all that stuff. I've been outside. I done did that. Oh, I'm outside, nigga. I did outside 15, 20 years ago consistently for years. I stayed outside till the lights come on, nigga. So I've been there, done that. So I mean, if it don't get ugly to where when all that happens, I would definitely consider it, because I love spoken word. I do, and I love to write. And being in that position, it would give me all the time in the world to write freely, and I wouldn't be at the mercy of clocking in or doing this, that, and third. I would have people up under me. Hey, I need you to handle that. I need to take the next 2 or 3 days off or a week off to where I can just write. I would love to do that.
Right.
Oh my God, that would be dope. I would love to do that.
So. Well, we had a question in the room as well about your T-shirts and being able to order. How would they be able to order, and what is the turnaround time when placing an order?
Oh, okay. The best, because my website is still under construction. That's a whole nother story. But the best way to find me is on TikTok or Instagram. Those are, because you can DM me, either one of those places. Depending on what it is, you want, it kind of determines. It would determine it by what they want. If it's something real simple, the turnaround time will be real quick. If it's something that I got to do a hoodie and maybe do something more extensive on the front and back, it's going to take longer. But the turnaround time on the average, I tell people it's between 5 to 7 days, and I can live up to that time because I've done it too many times. Right. So between 5 to 7 business days is my turnaround time.
Okay. Well, you have heard it here first, everybody. We have discussed not only the invention at hand, but we've been able to kind of dive into a little bit as to who David is behind the scenes as a poet and as a business owner with God's Ink Apparel. And I'm telling you, this man is going nowhere but up, okay? Going up and going up fast. So keep your eye out for the secured suitcase, because it is definitely going to drop, I know, by early spring, if not before 2024. Yeah. Like it's going to be big.
Yes.
And I already have my design, my colors already ready. So that I'm on the team, I got, a little link.
And you know what? I just got an idea real quick. 2 things I want to say real quick. One, when it happens and I get the different colors, I want us to do like a commercial or a video of all of us having ours. We get on the flight. And then I want everybody that's listening, keep me in your prayers going up, because this road is not for the weak. It is not easy.
All right.
And I deal with a lot that I haven't even really discussed in here personally, but it was worth the whole sacrifice and the patience and a lot of the stuff I had to contend with to get to this point. and I'm thankful that I'm here. So keep me in your prayers, and for this stuff to come about, because I know it is, because God promised it. And I just thank everybody that was listening, and everybody that support me in every way, shape, or form. I love y'all.
Yes, thank you to the listeners who are here live and those that'll be watching the replay. And make sure you reach out to David if you need any assistance for or shirts made for your birthdays, baby weddings, bar mitzvahs, women's conferences, men's conferences, retreats, whatever.
Reunions, baby showers, all that.
He will definitely assist you in making sure that your day is memorable. And also, just to kind of plug me as well, if you need a venue or you need to travel to do these things, let me know. Kendra Souls Travel Incorporated will be able to assist you as well. So,
and she did by commercial. So if anybody advertising for like a commercial, whatever, she's the woman to do it. She go do it. Look how she did mine. That's gangster. So.
Well, I don't toot my own horn in that area, but I do a pretty good job, y'all. So
I mean, hopefully I ain't got to cuss out like I did, but it's okay.
Just know that if you do, it's gonna be the bomb when it's done. That's for sure. It's gonna be the bomb, okay? But again, this has been a wonderful show. Thank you so much for allowing me to be able to interview you. It has definitely been a pleasure. Definitely been a pleasure. So with that, y'all, we're going to cut it. We're going to end it. And we're going to give our famous words. Go ahead, Carlos.
Well, I always say, have and have nots. Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you have. And be thankful for where God has you at now. Then when you have it, you'll be ready to receive it like you're supposed to. And what is yours, Miss Jones?
Well, you know what? I got a new one now, and I've been living off of this for the last.
Okay, come on, new one.
I know I've heard it a lot, but it's really making more sense for me. But it is imperative that we live in and on purpose. So that is my phrase that pays. Live in and on purpose.
Live in and on. Oh, that's okay. I like that. Yeah, you need to keep that one. I like it.
I will. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, you have a great night, and thank you so much again for watching the show. Peace.
Find us on our social media page. Tune in for our next video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you won't miss out on any future episodes. Presenting a revolutionary and innovative solution to all of your travel woes. Are you tired of the stress and strain that comes with travel? Frustrated by the constant fear of losing your luggage? Well, say goodbye to those worries and embrace a new era of seamless travel. Introducing the Secured Suitcase. So what makes this luggage different from all the others? With the ingenious clear-covered sleeve, no more flimsy tags, eradicating the risk of lost luggage. Its sleek aerodynamic design, colored handles, and matching wheels makes for a stylish, advanced look. Not to mention the organized compartments for jewelry, medicine, night clothes, tops and bottoms, and shoes. No matter where your next travel adventure leads you, or where your destination ends, know that with the Secured Suitcase, your luggage will arrive when you do. the secured suitcase where peace of mind travels with you. Use the contact information above for more details.